Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Good?
I'm
Wouldn't.
alive.
I was like, I got you
Yeah,
in the right
no,
spots, right? Okay, yeah, I do. All right. I thought you were waving
you,
because I had you in the wrong spot. I was like, I fixed
no.
it. I fixed it.
You know, they'll never see. They'll never see Tesla's art because I'll never not be here.
It's Joey. It's funny. It's fact. It's Joey's birthday. So I think Joey would like to have Nick personally sing happy birthday to him because he always makes those characters for Nick. No? No? Okay, fine. I'll do it. Happy birthday to you.
Uh,
Do I dance in a pole? Do I do that?
Say it
uh,
a little more,
you gotta pull. You gotta pull back there. You could.
Go
Is that
a
dance,
little deeper,
dance and twirl.
a little slower.
A little deeper, a little slower. Really? Really? Is that what he says? That's what we're going with. You know what, Roz? You can leave. It's cool. You can get out of here. Don't blame you. Not a place to hang out. Bunch of turd faces. Okay. First of all, level 5 hype train. That's very exciting. You are not joining the call. Jake is taking the night off. I think we actually mentioned that last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was actually talked about live last week, like before the session ended. We talked about how
Yeah.
he's like, I'm just not going to be there because Cell's just going to do the whole session.
Yeah. Listen. All right, we can get started early with the whole session going. All right, we can do some role play at the end of the cave. All right, instead of skipping it. There we go. That's how we take the whole session up.
Wait, what cave? What are you talking about?
After I absorb the ash elemental,
Mm-hmm.
that cave.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. And luckily
That-
we made a decision. Wow, such a busy week. Luckily, because I went away. We made a
Yeah,
decision
yeah.
last week what it is that does. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a moment that
I'm so
probably
happy
should
that,
be-
that was already done. Yeah,
Yeah,
yay,
because
pre-planning.
yeah, we talked about that to make sure. But it's probably something that has to be talked about in game because it's not something little.
No.
It
Of course not.
really should have been assault elemental. I'm just saying.
Assault.
What plane is that? The Earth and negative energy plane? Is that where salt comes from?
Salt is water and it's water and negative energy, I believe.
Oh, which
Yeah.
doesn't. I guess that makes sense ish.
You make sense-ish.
I mean, true, not wrong.
So where we last left off was you barely winning that battle. Like people didn't expect you to win.
I was at I already killed everything because but I was at like 12 HP or something like that, or
Well-
22 HP.
Where we're gonna start this session is with a hype train poll. So I'll set up that poll real quick.
Yeah. What do you want it to be about? Is it?
No, I got it. I'm setting it up.
Cool.
So hype train lev 5. Who? Okay, here we go.
Let's pop this out. No, we shouldn't give it to Joey. All right.
Yeah, Anno. So just give it to me because that's giving it to Joey, so he
Sure.
can make a character for me. That's
You're not
that's how
wrong.
that
All right, here we
works.
go.
It goes.
we
It's
go.
gonna go to you, Nick, anyway. All right. The chances of.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm gonna press it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we like countersync for delay, and then we start it now.
It better just say Jake on it.
There we go. You guys can start your votes. Let's do this. It's funny. You guys didn't start mentioning the Joey thing until like I was pretty much done typing. So
Let me. I should probably open up some books. Oh God, Anno's in that little chat room now too.
here we go.
All the schemers are there.
So far, there's only 4 votes. And it's 5 votes, and it's all about the fact that Jake's not even here. So, I mean, I guess we're just voting to agree that Jake isn't here. Are we
I
all just
concur.
agreeing that Jake isn't here? Oh, we got one for Nick. Okay. Now we're in that push moment. All right, push. Who's gonna win? Nobody wins. Oh, seriously, Jake's not here. Oh, okay. So I guess Jake
Didn't
gets
know
the hype
that.
train.
Sure.
All right. So Jake gets the hype train. Congratulations, Jake. You get to have the hype train. But on top of that, Joey can also have a hype train. That's fine. We can let him take it too. It can be a duel. So
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
very nice of you.
look at that. Just spread it out. Yeah. All right. Cool. Now Jake has homework.
You mean it's gonna be delegated to Joey
You
anyway?
mean Joey has homework? Oh, that's awesome. All right, cool. So we last left off with we started last session with Cell and ended last session with Cell. Jake sat there and did nothing the entire time, and I think Nick's got his turn for about 8 minutes. So how are we starting this session off?
I'm in a cave still, if we want to handle that. And also I have my event phase that we haven't done. So
That sounds like Cell.
yeah. That's just how it is, okay?
Is this gonna ride like Cell the
It's gonna be
the
like
whole show?
it's gonna be like an hour, okay? At most. Alright? You have 2 hours to yourself, Nick.
It's like bedtime.
Okay. So what are you going to do in the cave?
I don't know, Scott. How does it feel? Alright? To be recently fused with another creature.
So as I said beforehand, you finished the fight. You grabbed the thing. The woman, the shaman, had told you to back up, back into the area, and then she started getting into her ritualistic chant and whatnot, right? Allowing the magical area to take the essence of the fire elemental that you just fought and defeated, and compressed it so it got captured into the amulets that you had. So it literally is caught inside that amulet as opposed to being able to just discorporeate to elsewhere. This is also part of having the cold iron bars that Nick's clan had provided and your clan had constructed to put there. So this made it so the spirit was literally trapped where you are, superheating the cold iron bit of metal that you have. What's up?
Additionally, we brought it to the cave that the
Yeah.
tomb was in, which was designed to keep these spirits in too.
Correct.
We discovered.
Correct. So this thing was not able to get away and was trapped into the amulet itself. It's now here where you want to have the next step take place. So it was the design of the amulet, the whole idea of how this is going to be able to be trapped was something that was the idea of the salamander itself. But the idea of doing the old bonding ritual, is something that was suggested by the shaman that's in front of you. What's up?
And then didn't I have some sort of moment where I mumbled a bunch of words and sealed it into myself?
Well, yeah, that's the whole idea. Is that so? She started doing the event, and it was her plan to kind of start this ritual to get things going. Then you instinctively had your own like arcane words that you were saying. Like I said, it was almost like you heard like resonance in the back of your mind, but then you realized it was just like the echoing from you, like your own voice as you're. I believe I said like you were saying the words, but your mouth wasn't moving, sort of a thing. Like you just feel the resonance along your jaw. And up
I
into
was
your ear.
saying, I think I was saying words that I had no idea what they were or what they meant.
So you complete this ritual. You do this ritual with her aid. Obviously, you're instinctively doing this because of what you had gone through beforehand and what already exists inside of you. And then with her aid, kind of like pushing this to be the case. As this is going on, she then calls out to the salamander to give to kind of like sacrifice a bit of his own blood, because this is literally the blood of the fire, right? To spill onto the actual circle itself that you're trapped in. And this completes the ritual with, you can see like jets of light of like fiery light kind of like shooting up from the circle itself, and eventually the whole thing kind of like binds into you, and you feel this strange transition. A transition that happens as you yourself can feel the burning sensation going into your chest, right? It's almost like your character literally has like a heartburn, like your esophagus, your chest is on fire. It's very uncomfortable. Eventually the pain gets to the point where you let it out like a cry of agony, but as you let out that cry of agony, literally your entire body, every part about you begins to glow for for several moments. Then the glow of your actual body starts to simmer down, but that doesn't change the fact that the whole area around you continues to emit like a bright light. Even the areas of darkness beyond that are emitting like a dimmer light. What's up?
Should I ping it in chat?
Go ahead.
Let them see my new power. I glow, baby.
He's a glowworm. And so you start to glow in the area around you, similar to what that creature that you had fought only moments beforehand were able to do. Joey says lame. Joey's like, I want battle powers.
I could have picked a power that was battle powered, but this was cooler.
It was actually disgustingly powerful battle power, like a insanely powerful battle power.
It would have been really great, but like glowing, even in magical darkness, sounds like something that Tessel would do.
He wants to make sure when Joey climbs underneath the blankets, he finds his way. That's all it is.
Listen, it's a very bright hole.
Happy birthday, Joey.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Did anybody expect that? What?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Oh boy. Oh. Oh god.
It was so good.
Oh, that was amazing. Okay.
Oof, that was fun. I had that one lined up.
Yeah. All right.
That
Pushing
didn't
through.
happen. Anyway, well, you don't want to say that, all right? Bad context.
Moving on. So, you guys are emitting a glow, and as you're emitting the glow, like it's coming off of you. This is something that neither the shaman before you or the salamander behind you, is able to do themselves. So they're just seeing this like otherworldly glow, like what the creature you just defeated was able to do prior. What is the first words that you say as you can feel the burning sensation starting to subside? Almost imagine like having it like food far spicier than you're actually comfortable with eating. Like that feeling as it's finally coming off the ledge of being absolutely horrible and like tolerably uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like as you're kind of like dropping down to that sensation in your chest.
He holds up his hand. He thinks he's gonna like throw up after this event. No, all right. That just hurts a lot. Okay, we're gonna redo this. This is not the first words after this, okay? Restart real quick.
Okay.
No, he says that in character, to be clear.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Weird, but okay, go ahead.
Well, you gotta think about it. It feels like he's like having heartburn,
Yeah,
like he's like
yeah.
maybe acid reflux, you know what I mean? He isn't sure, but it's a rough moment, right? He's at like 20 HP, his soul's being burned. It's not great.
It's what is it from Rocco's Modern Life? He's like, oh, I got heartburn. I'm so nervous. I got heartburn. Like it's one of those like, ugh. Actually, I had really bad heartburn on Friday to the point where like my poor wife was in the car with me as I just kept having to like burp and breathe deep just to like get it out. Oh, and she was stuck in the car with me while we were driving to New York, and I'm like, ugh. It hurts
Like
so much.
The swashbucklers have to have their flair, all right? Their panache. I was reborn once in this tomb, and it seems I've been reborn again.
The shaman before you says, this binding, it didn't go as I expected it would have. And it's probably, as you're saying now, you are not two, but more. There's something more to you.
3,
Shakes her head.
4.
I
I
don't
mean,
know if a simple number can be put onto it.
oh God, what does that? What does that mean? I don't understand.
She takes steps
This
forward.
is so complex.
She takes steps forward and puts like, a hand on your shoulder and says, "It means that, as you have just said, you were reborn. You are no longer the person that you were minutes ago. You are an entirely different entity with different thoughts, feelings, passions, interests. I hope that the decision that you've made to bind this creature to yourself allows you to continue to guide your people to prosperity and doesn't deviate your intentions to their ruin."
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really choose it. It happened. Maybe the spirit that I was bound to before, it must have guided my will.
She shakes her head and says, "You may not have chosen for that exact moment to have the binding take place, but this is something premeditated, something that we've discussed prior, and certainly something that was discussed with this salamander prior to your arrival here. And your decision to come to this location was further precognition of the events."
Is that what they call the subconscious thought?
She shakes her head.
I
and
heard that
says-
word in the North at one point.
She shakes her head and says, "You will reap what you sow."
I feel the fiery passion, the anger and hatred, but I've felt it before I was bound to the spirit here. I was much alike with this creature, with the elemental. Let's hope it doesn't change my temperaments too much. I need to go sleep. Let's head back to town. I am exhausted. And I need to figure out how to stop glowing.
The salamander will go and start trying to like unbury the area that you guys are kind of like trapped into or whatever, as well as the other people that came with you, unburying from the other side to make sure that you're going to be able to get out. But yeah, you absolutely are glowing right now. Would you spend time now trying to figure out how to stop glowing, or are you going to return to your home with the glow?
I think I'm too exhausted to like spend the mental effort to like figure that out. So I'm just gonna be walking into town, probably like the sun setting, glowing brightly.
Sure. It's funny because he's saying glowing brightly, but I want to be clear about something. His character's skin isn't emitting light like a light bulb. The area around him just happens to be supernaturally bright, and the area around that supernaturally dim instead of dark. Or, if it already was dim, is brightened as well. So there's an area of light around him, like a halo of light around him, but not he himself has glowing skin. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. See, to me, you just seem like a more flamboyant Twilight vampire. That's all I'm getting. But you're more of a zombie, so you're like a Twilight. I don't know.
I'm not
It's
a
weird.
zombie. I'm not. Oh, wait. Well, I mean, like, I kind of am. All right.
You
Remember
really,
what the fairy
yeah,
said? The fairy said I was dead.
you're the corrupt Twilight zombie. Oh boy.
Yeah, true. I just need to suck some blood, I guess.
leave it alone. So, it just works at nighttime instead of daytime. That's how you sparkle. God. He's a Twilight version of a damn fear. Oh no, it's canon. All right, chat.
No.
Chat, we need to make one more poll before we continue.
I'm an amalgamation of many different things at this point. I am truly the chimera soul.
How do I spell this? Nope, that's not how you spell it. That's. I have no idea how to spell that word. Hold on, give me a second. There it is.
What is this about? Naming my new race? If I had kids, will they be illuminated too?
Okay.
Is this inheritable?
Starting the poll now for you guys. Okay. So, fun fact, I had no idea how to spell Jacob. I was like, is there a U in Jacob? Nope, it's an O. Oh, it's funny too, because one of my good friends' last name is Jacobs. But I don't know a Jacob. All right. Cool. Oh, listen. All right, so let's keep going. We clearly know who the winner is here, unless somebody's going to spam the other direction for an obvious reason. So, Cell, you are glowing on your way back to your home. Needless to say, there's talks in the streets, concerns about what this is, and excitement about what it is. You can imagine not very long thereafter, even just kind of like jumping ahead, he's got special power now, and that plays into what we talked about beforehand. So you kind of played your hand in that one. So
yes, I voted most points.
Yeah, you almost half the votes were you. So so as you're glowing your way downtown, so you're gonna get the special power aspect of leadership, which I think you already knew and applied to your character sheet. Cool.
I already applied it, yeah. But
cool. So you make your way to your actual home, and there's kind of talks in the streets about this. You can imagine this conversation amongst your individual advisors and whatnot, but for the most part, there are there's no real RP that necessarily needs to happen between you and them. There'll be questions. You'll answer pretty much honestly with most. The other one I think I'd be curious who would react to this is what's her name?
Rima?
Rima. Yeah, Rima. I'd be curious how Rima would react to your now glowing. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Rima is more a follower of Vroga than she is of Tasian-ness.
Yes. Or, you mean Tasian? That's your nation.
No, your thing. Tazonga.
Tanzo.
Tanza. There we go.
Tanzo.
It was
like
there.
Shado.
Yeah.
The O is like
See,
the...
Tazonga. Tanzo. That's close.
Very off.
Yeah.
Very off. Anyway, yeah, this is probably a good one. How did Rima react?
So we'll have a little bit of RP about that one, and I don't know if Nick's character cares to comment on the glowing person with his advisor to your throne, but I will do my own little RP with Rima first. So just whipping her out real quick.
Tanzga Shado, the lesser known brother.
Tazonga.
Tazonga.
Yeah.
So if Tassel dies, that's what I'll play as my long lost brother.
Okay. So she will come at you. Like while
aggressive?
while you're in one of the halls walking, she like storms up to you in a very unpleasant way. And as she does so, she is going to legit cast a spell as she walks up to you.
Yeah? What is she casting on me?
Confess.
Confess?
Absolutely. It's a will save.
I guess I'm rolling a will save. They're not great.
Well, looks like you failed.
I could have.
And must answer truthfully in the same language as the question, or take 1d6 points of damage per 2 cast levels, which would be 7 points of damage. So you are a creature that is unable to answer. Still takes. Okay, cool. So she asks you a question. that you have to answer honestly. Okay. So she storms
Sure.
towards you, incanting a spell. But as she stands, maybe about like 8 feet or so away from you, she finishes the spell saying, "What form of blasphemy has taken you even further from Vroga?"
Give me a second. Vroga is one of the many gods that I follow. I follow all of them within the order of Tanzo, and you know this. Nothing has taken me further from. I am still free, bound by my own will, as Vroga teaches.
She does not look satisfied with your answer, and says,
And do not cast another spell upon me, without at least even asking. You know I will answer the truth to you anyway, Rima, unless you do not trust I am still in my right mind."
She says, "I don't trust that you are. You disappear with a salamander and a soothsayer of another faith down into a hole and return changed. You expect me to assume that there wasn't some sort of witchcraft that was involved in this? How do I know
Call the
this
council.
Call the council. I'm
Now,
speaking to
I don't feel like dealing with this. I will tell everyone the truth fully.
She shakes her head and says, "You'll answer to me first."
You'll get your answers with everyone else. I don't want to speak twice in my tired state.
Give me a second. Make a decision how she react to that. She casts a spell.
I'm neutral good. I don't think I radiate an alignment though, because I am I don't only like clerics and paladins and stuff, dude.
But you can definitely tell if there was something good or evil that happened recently lingering on you. But,
Also, if the spirit is like in control of me, you'd be able to detect it if it was because it's evil. But obviously, it's not taken over. Hopefully, I guess I don't know.
And
Oh my
also
God.
something motive on you.
I mean, you know, I'm being truthful.
Yep. So she weighs the options for a few moments, and then finally says, "Fine, council. But know this, warlord. You are messing with things. You are getting yourself involved with things that I am very familiar with. We'll have to speak again sometime in the future. This is not done." And then she'll turn to go and call the council for you. You don't need to give an actual speech. If you just want to deliver it with like an oratory for how it is you deliver
Yeah.
with your explanation.
Well, I'm telling the council about everything.
Oh, of course.
So about what happened when I went into this mines.
Yep.
So, yeah. You want oratory? Ooh, it's not terrible. It's pretty decent. So my speech goes off at a 20, which is
good,
pretty
really
decent
good, yeah.
speech, especially in my tired state.
Good night, Alicia.
Rima specifically, she doesn't worship the other gods. She only worships Vroga.
Yep. Rima worships Vroga. She, of course, pays respects to other gods as is appropriate, depending on the season and the situation, but she's a Vroga worshiper.
Yeah, she's not really a part of the Order of Tanza, which is more focused on the Idiopan, less than the specific gods.
She is a peculiar person by worshiping one god over others.
Yeah.
That makes her an oddity in the continent. So,
although at this point, Cecil shows most of his service to Krillian pretty fairly at this point, though. Considering
you service Vroga in other ways.
Yeah,
like you're really flexible.
True, and Horrenda in other ways. All right. Yeah, she's a freak. She's an inquisitor, so you would expect it, right?
Yeah, but continue on. Go ahead. So you deliver your speech, and everybody takes it in pretty well. You know, there's questions, you answer them, and so forth. There's minor concerns, you belay them. Continue.
And I apologize specifically to my brother for not telling him sooner.
Okay. You can also go ahead and roll a diplomacy check for how well you convince them of this.
Oh, it goes terribly.
Natural 1 is an automatic failure, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they're probably all just really concerned about the situation because it's probably a lot to drop on them.
Yes.
And I'm very tired, so it doesn't come out come out correctly either.
I know exactly how that can play out. There's
That
somebody in chat
complicates.
that might be actively watching right now or might be watching sometime in the near future. We know that there's a timer that's currently going on. Let's just say we're expediting that timer. You know who you are if you're listening now or sometime in the very near future. We're just going to expedite that timer. Okay? Cool. What?
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 Huh?
What?
That is super ominous.
What?
What? Why would you say this? I could have lived without knowing that there's
So,
a timer.
Joey is DMing everybody right now. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know?
That's scary.
What do you
I didn't need to hear this, Scott. You could have just, not said that. This is fine.
What? Cool.
Anyway.
Maybe I'm lying. Maybe this
You could be.
Yeah.
It is in your wheelhouse to lie like that to just
Absolutely.
make me anxious about something. Like the volcano exploding was on the stability check that I kept succeeding.
Yep. Oh, why are you guys on a call with him right now? That's awesome. All right, moving on. So back to you. So they're all just continuing to show concerns. The one who's the most concerned by and far is Rima, and not because Rosin has secretly played a trump card to use Rima against you. Just because Rima has her own reasons to be concerned. We're going to put this aside now because Rima doesn't want to. We're going to approach this in RP at the moment because we want to get through other parts of the session. If there's more time at the end or next session, we can have you approach Rima about her concerns. But you can, without any checks need to be noticed, realize Rima gets a bit detached and watches you considerably more. If we come to the event phase, the Rima is going to be a little bit more less verbose. Just very matter of fact.
We're in that phase right now.
Hey!
As Tessel figures out how to not glow or illuminate the area. So he's no longer illuminating the area.
Okay. So I'm going to look up events for you really quickly and see what came up with where. What's up?
Well, I'll have Anna just roll for my random event.
Okay. We'll usually do those last, though.
Oh, we'll do
so we won't have him roll quite just yet.
Cool. We'll just be ready, Anna.
Yeah. You be ready. You be ready, you naughty boy. All right, cool. So that comes to... I can close that one. Come back over here. That is no... So that was... And... Right here we have... Actually, I don't think you have any.
I thought I had some.
Give me 1 second.
I thought I had my the schemer event.
Yep, I'm looking right now. Because I have something for you, but
God, how do I fail at like the weirdest moments?
Okay. So I am okay, cool. I have your event for you here. Give for me a moment, please. You have a scout report coming your way. This is being delivered by where's your people? Who is your marshal? Tictung. Comes to deliver a scout report to you. Looks a little upset. You've got some of your glow under control. Things are just dim around you, like your followers.
That's just rude.
Well, they would have to be to follow you. So the Tictung comes to you and says, Warlord, I have very upsetting news. Springtime has brought with it movement and resurgence of the tribes to the south. There seems to be a lot of activity happening in the area, especially in northeastern Barrenlands. The vassal that is ours to the south has been getting into some small skirmishes and now believe that there is greater danger coming that they might not be able to fend off. They have not directly asked for aid, but you can hear it in the tone of the way that the merchants speak, the way that the messengers deliver, and so on. If I may be so bold as to suggest, I think we should try to shore up our borders, try to show support to them before they bring themselves to having to ask. I think it's important that they know that they have our full support without having to beg for it. But I do warn you, marching a considerable number of soldiers down there could also give some concern to the, what's the clan called? Clan Theron, to the east. You know that they're going to have spies in our midst watching.
We will aid our vassals. They have Grand Bjorn came to pledge himself to us, and we shall defend them as we told them we would.
Your warlord, or sorry, war chief, what's his face? Your general Naito says, I do have to admit that it would be wise. I have to agree that it would be wise for us to deliver soldiers down to aid them. However, I'm not entirely sure that we should necessarily go into the Barren Lands and engage the Karak on their, to engage the Baron Karak on their homelands. Perhaps we send soldiers, station them into our vassal state to the south. He turns to the warlord. Do they have the means of housing a number of our soldiers, even a small troop, a patrol?
Are you asking me?
Yes, he's asking the warlord.
I don't know what they have. You never told me if they have anything there. How am I supposed to know?
So, you know that they'd be able to support a good 20 soldiers being stationed there. Anything more than that's beyond the scope of what they can handle.
Then yeah, we can, yes. I pull out, like, I guess a couple scrolls to read the documents we have.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they will be able to house that number of troops.
Naito says, I agree with Tuktung that we should intervene, though, as opposed to marching against the enemy. We defend our allies. Atelier chimes in and says, marching soldiers puts our home at more risk than it necessarily needs to be. Perhaps the enemies of our enemy are our greatest ally. Instead of marching our people down there or putting our own people at risk, we try to entice one of the other tribes to engage with that one in warfare. See if we can cause a bit of old-fashioned barren infighting. They can weaken themselves and won't be a concern. Or if they continue to be so, we'll be, as I said, weaker when they come to engage with us. It's probably the best option. And then chiming in as well is going to be your treasurer, who's now Lenny. Lenny says, oh, I don't know, even just sending our own people down there to trying to entice a battle like that could be dangerous. It might not be a bad idea for us to just hire some adventurers to go and solve the problem. You always have people that are looking to make a name for themselves. They want to go and find fame and riches and whatnot off and beyond. We can send some people down there to go and investigate the area. Kind of looks over a book real quick and flips it through a few times and says, hell, we could even try to double dip the scenario. We have them resolve the situation, but we also use them at the same time to fund an expedition. They can kick the shit out of a couple of them tribes for us, and then also explore the area. Give us an update on exactly what's going on out there. It's been a while. Things have shifted.
That isn't terrible.
And Nick, you're welcome to chime in.
Sure. Which ambassador is it? This is Kiyoshi. Kiyoshi would recommend going in and sending the troops as well. This is a good chance to make your clan look and act like a normal corrupt clan. To be blunt. This would really it would be a good image for potential allies within the Karuk nation. Kajinxi.
I already lean towards the plan of sending our troops to show our support to our vassal state. I did not consider this would be seen as kinship among the clans of Kajinxi. If you think it was also help in that point, then we shall do it.
It's good optics.
It's funny.
What's an optic?
You say that, and Aaliyah actually will chime in and say, I won't lie, Warlord. I did not see this path myself. That's a keen suggestion by Clan Kushibashi. It would look better on the fronts. I do agree also that we should keep the number of soldiers relatively small for the sake of sustainability, unless we're going to set up supply trains between here and there. That could be potentially more taxing than otherwise because our land is still rather separated from there. I know you have plans in the next, say, half year or so to try to get us a bit closer, but for now it's a considerable gap of distance where many dangers lie. Looks over at Lenny for a moment and then looks back and says, if I may ask, looking over to Kyoshi, it's perhaps a bit more of Warlord Tessel's approach to make gestures seem a bit more grand or be a bit more grand than they otherwise need to. Do you think us going so far as to intentionally hiring bards to talk about things like this would be beneficial to the way that you had mentioned? Even taking that benefit one step further? Or do you think something like that would be seen as a bit off-putting? I know in the north, something like that easily could be viewed upon well. But we're in the south.
This is true. And in the south, it may look more like
Scalds.
Tessel saying is flaunting his contribution versus simply this is just business as usual activity. And that's what we want to look like. I think it's best to make it appear as this is business as usual. We deploy troops and deal with the rabble.
She nods and looks back and says, something we could potentially use to our benefit in the future then. But for now, I am impressed and agree with Kyoshi in this. And then looks to Naito to give a bit of a nod. Tiktung will also nod in agreement as well. It's not quite what Tiktung was suggesting, but nothing bad there. And Atelia just rolls her eyes.
Look, alright. Atelia can think of what she wants, but if you get clans to fight, they end up growing somehow, alright?
That's what happens if you critical fail.
Like they just end up multiplying out of death, right? It's like through osmosis.
What happens is if you critically fail, you get it to work, but one clan chieftain calls out the other one for individual combat, kills them,
and then
they
just
merge.
absorbs it.
Yep.
That's terrible. All right, I'm writing with so I'm doing with Naito
Yeah.
in stability or economy.
This is absolutely stability. Yep.
That's what I figured.
Once more with feeling.
So you're gonna roll with
Yeah,
a stability check. I have to pull up Shado real quick. Okay, so it's gonna be a stability for you. Going over to advisor tasks.
What's the DC?
1 second. So Naito stability. Oh, stability gives you a +2, which is nice.
Yeah.
So because you're bringing your soldiers down there and you're only bringing 20, which isn't that many, it's going to be a DC 20. It's a hard check.
Once more
Oh,
with
that's rough.
feeling.
Yeah. If you brought more
yeah.
soldiers, it'd be a much easier check, but you'd have other difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, we could bring in all the skull troops. No, it'd be fun. That'd be.
Feeling.
They can only support 20 people, so there's no point to send them more than 20. They are probably being led by Henry, but like Naito's rolling
Oh, yeah, of course.
because he wouldn't leave to like Henry's there to oversee. All right, well I'm gonna roll a 1.
Does Naito have a open?
Never mind,
Oh!
I critically succeed by a
You
lot.
did critically succeed by a solid 2, which is not a lot.
Oh, well, it feels like a lot, okay? Because
That's
the DC was 20.
amazing. That's awesome. So this is what ends up happening. You end up marching your soldiers down there to do exactly as you just suggested, and in doing so, you are able to kind of like shore up the defenses. Not only did you defend them as needed when there were little bits of skirmishes and whatnot, and are able to chase off the Kararak from the border from the Barren lands, so they're no longer engaging. Beyond that, your soldiers, while there, take the opportunity to further train the people that were left behind, kind of leaving behind a bit more of a militia, or a better trained militia, more capable of defending itself in the future. And because Naito's focus is more on defense than offense, it really focuses on their defense. So what I'm going to say, for your critical success, you gain this. Your allies to the south get +2 to defense to their to that vassal. So they have +2 defense added to them, which is really good news. And as a thank you to your soldiers and whatnot, they end up donating 3 BP to your treasury.
Oh shit!
Yes.
So I'm 46 BP. That's a lot. That's huge. I'm gonna write this down somewhere. I'm not sure where. What are they? Clan Bjorn?
Bjorn, yep.
Because we had to make them a clan.
Yep.
Because they didn't exist before. +2 to defense.
Yep. And Ano, this is when you're allowed to go ahead and roll for his events, because he didn't choose the birthday boy, he chose Ano. Just want to make sure we all know that.
Oh, I should have picked the birthday boy. I didn't think about
39. And Shado has a 75% chance this time?
it. Yeah,
Yes, he
I was gonna go
does.
high.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's 39, so unless you choose a random middle. That's a
I
hit.
I do sometimes pick random middles though, to be fair. But I was gonna pick high. I was gonna be honest.
Not arguing with your choice, aside from not choosing Joey.
I'm sorry. Joey can roll. Can roll what type of event?
Really? You want Joey to roll a type of event? Oh boy.
Yeah, he's gonna give me specifically dangerous settlement event, and he's gonna roll a 100, causing it to be a double random settlement event.
72 is lame. It's only a beneficial settlement event.
Oh,
That's lame.
Joey,
get ready for land rush.
Joey,
my God, if you rolled that
that's
again.
a settlement. That's a kingdom event, luckily.
Oh.
Roll a D100, Joey. Evens is capital, odds is Fenitaru.
Odds Fenitaro. That's a
Yeah.
75. That's an unexpected find.
No. This is to pick the city. Now we're rolling for the what type of event.
I thought you were doing like what I do with what's it called? Like when I do if I'm rolling to know if it's an arcane or divine scroll, like the result and the odds and evens happen at the same exact time.
Well, I don't know what the chart looks like, so I don't know if that would come out with a fair outcome.
72 might be the same. Hold on one
It
second.
probably is the same event.
Hold on, beneficial 72. Oh no, it just went from unexpected find to remarkable treasure.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
unexpected find is you gain a temporary minor, so it's a magic item slot. But the remarkable
good.
treasure is instead the settlement immediately fills one of its open magic item slots. So instead of adding to, it just fills one of its open magic item slots with better than normal item. Medium if a minor slot, major if a medium slot. Treat the settlement's base value as 50% higher than normal for determining its maximum item price. If the settlement doesn't have an open magic item slot, make it unexpected find instead. You said it's Fenitaro. Does Fenitaro have any open slots?
No, it doesn't.
So more or less, you treat it like the one that I thought he rolled originally.
That's terrible.
That's hilarious.
Because I could have got a what? A 750 gold minor magic item or medium magic item?
Joey, roll me a D100 followed by a D100.
That's funny.
A 50.
So it's a temporary minor item.
And a 54. That's sad. A 50 is sad. Oh wait, no, a 50 is not sad. Never mind, because it's supposed to be slightly better.
Does it care about? It doesn't care about my base value, I don't think.
Hold on. 54. No special qualities. So then we look at this. What's the what is the amount of money that your kingdom allows?
It allows 500, but this doesn't say anything about following base value. So I'm not sure it does because there's only a temporary.
Oh,
one.
that's right. Because it has nothing to do with the temporary one. Yep.
No, that was for the other event that we had to skip because I didn't have any open slots in.
Correct, what he's saying. Give me 1 second. I mean, that's cool. Before I read you anything, I'm just trying to check something else out. I mean, these would be only good for Jake. So I guess it has to be exactly what you rolled, which is a 54. That's what it is. A Rod of Thunderous Force.
Can't even use that. Only Lenny can.
That's not true. Once per day on command, the wielder can slam the rod against the ground, releasing a concussive wave of sonic and force energy. This creates a 20-foot radius burst centered on the wielder. While it causes no damage, those within the burst must succeed a DC 19 Fortitude saving throw or fall prone and be deafened for 1d4 rounds. The wielder is unaffected by this blast.
What is?
It's called the Rod of Thunderous Force. It doesn't harm people, but it deafens them and knocks them prone. That's also really good in a non-combat or even in a combat scenario. Like, imagine like people in the court are just being fucky. You just go boom, they're all thrown on their ass and their ears are ringing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a symbol of power. The problem is it doesn't belong to him. It belongs to the kingdom unless he chooses to steal it by using BP to do so and accepting the unrest to do so. So Rod of Thunderous Force, its actual price is 5,400 gold pieces. It weighs 5 pounds. It's awesome. Its general way it's described is this mahogany rod is etched with images of a whirling storm clouds, which is interesting. So I'm going to describe how it was found, and then I'm going to allow Joey to describe what it looks like, okay? So the way it was found was this, because this is Fenitaru. This is going to be your soon-to-be capital, right? So
Fenitaru is my current capital.
Oh, that changes how I was going to plot this. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. The way I said it was kind of weird, but I said it how I meant it.
So as people are searching through, it's weird that it's in Fenitaru as opposed to the other one. Okay.
You could just say it's there. It doesn't really change anything because it's an item.
Which does that one also not have any open slots?
It might, but I mean.
Yeah. So as people were kind of like setting up the mines and whatnot in the area around the new capital, like kind of as they were exploring through the cave, the various caves that are there, blasting open entrances or blasting closed entrances that go into tunnels around the where the new capital is going to be. As they're doing that kind of work, one of the people ends up blasting a bit of like a rock slide, an area that ends up dislodging a rod that had been kind of like lost. So one of those things like almost like finding an arrowhead. Who knows how many hundreds of years it's been there since it kind of laid to rest in that spot. The person that was found it kind of picked it up and thought it was really, really funny. Like that was like a cool looking thing. Showing it off to the various other people around them, kind of have a conversation like, oh, look at me, I'm warlord such and such. And then they slammed the thing down, being like, feel my might or whatever it was, and slammed the thing down, and it emits this huge pulse of energy that ends up causing a rock slide around them that ends up burying the poor soul that found it, almost like they were struck down by the gods themselves for mocking whichever warlord it was that they mocked in slamming the stick down. That caused a bit of a veneration of the people around the stick who kind of gathered it up and brought it over to one of the merchants inside the area nearby so they could try to identify what it was. The merchant that looked into it was able to kind of understand how it worked, but also heard the story and put a bit of a veneration to it. It gave the people in the area, they caused it to give a bit of a nickname. Again, they believed that a individual who was mocking a warlord, whichever warlord it was, we'll leave up to Joey, and which god they believe struck them down for it, we'll leave up to Joey, probably Drazam or something like that, right? And what the stick looks like, we'll leave up to Joey. But poor Tony died for his mockery and mishandling of a magic item.
What a loser.
Cool.
It's a cool item. I might buy it.
The god was your mother. Ha!
Jake should buy it. Jake should 100% buy it.
No, this definitely sounds like something that your character would do. Jake already has a stick.
True. He has a bonk stick.
Yeah.
He literally bonks people with it.
I mean, I think most of us have a bonk stick.
No, but he kills people.
So what warlord
That's an
was he
interesting
mocking when
item.
God struck him down? Yes, as well as what it looks like. Cool. Awesome.
That's an interesting weapon.
It's not a weapon. I mean,
Oh yeah, well, item.
rods can, if they're depending on how they're described, be used as clubs, as non-magical clubs. You know what I mean? Magic for the sake of like how hard it is to break them, but non-magic for the sake of chance to hit and damage. You know, but they're not meant to be weapons. It's a 5-pound rod that you hold. You have to almost imagine like a king having like a scepter.
It's a scepter, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a cool item. All right. That's fun. I might buy it. I might take that and rest to buy it.
Cool. Make sure you add it into the kingdom, the mountain kingdom, and
Yeah,
I think that resets your what's it called? Events back
to
down to 25%. Yep.
Yep. And I'm done.
Does that finish your turn?
Yep.
Cool.
All done.
Does it finish your turn? No.
You have an event for me.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I need Atelia to do a check for me.
Yeah. What do you need?
Shado. It's an advisor task. This is as the what's it called? The Spy Master. I think she currently is rocking a -2 on Spy Master.
Yeah, because she was throwing a bit of a temper tantrum.
Yep. So she's suffering a -2. This is a loyalty check, so you get a +0.
Oh, wonderful.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a challenging roll.
Oh, great. So I have a +3.
Against a DC 16, sir.
Just roll an 18 again, forehead. I hit it. 16.
16 on the nose.
That's very fortunate. I rolled that 12. I'm not gonna lie. Any lower, I would not succeed with that luck die.
Atelia never, ever grew to be trustful of Naito's new wife.
Holy shit. Wait.
Never grew to be trustful of her and always watched her. And so thought it was strange when occasionally Naito's wife went and started interacting with other people in town that they hadn't seen them interacting with beforehand. She then reports, after going and spying on those individuals that she's been spying on Naito's wife for some time, interacting with, goes to find out that these individuals are not members of your clan. They have integrated themselves into your clan, but are definitely spies from what you believe to be Throne. You haven't been able to confirm that it's Throne, but you're almost positive these are spies of Throne. Now, another nation having their spies inside of yours is not too unusual. Knowing who they are is certainly beneficial. But she finds out about this. The success... So the success is that when she goes to report it, the good news is when she reports to you that this happens, it is about an hour and a half, 2 hours after your brother has already come to you and told you that his wife was concerned about other people that might be spies in the city being about. So the information already came to you from your brother's wife. There is no, as far as you can tell, foul play happening here. Atelia does say, I bet one of my people slipped up and got caught. I'll find out who fucked up, and I'll correct it. In the meanwhile, how do you want to handle this? My plan is we don't play our hand too soon.
Okay.
We feed them false information. We let them think what we want them to think. Nothing too drastic. I know you're trying to play nicey nice until we slit their throats. But for now, we feed them some information that we think might be beneficial. Or we could just slit their throats.
Better the spy you know than the one you don't? Is that a saying?
No, it's not.
Well, I mean... Well, it should be. All right. No, but Dea, uh, we've been through this exact argument with Dea, and we've done this exact same thing. Atelier, we're looping. We did this with Dea last time to prove she wasn't a spy.
I'm not talking about false information to Dea.
Okay.
You
You're talking
have
about
your reasons to trust her. I don't. I think it's convenient that she gave information right before you got it from me, but only during the time that I was verifying, since I didn't come run to you because I knew you would likely take her side. So I verified first.
continue doing what you believe to be right, Atelia, as long as it's not breaking fingers of anyone I would not want you to break the fingers of. That extends to a lot of things, not just fingers, to be clear.
Am I going to feed them false information, keep an
Yes.
eye on them from a distance, or try to procure information?
We will make them believe what we want them to believe.
So, what's that?
Isn't that your job?
Obviously, Warlord. I just didn't know if you had something in mind. We can certainly report back to them about Naito's erectile dysfunction.
I'm gonna choose to not hear that ever again. Anyway, let's feed them information that can put them at ease at the worries of our clan. Let's be proactive in the information they are receiving to shed good light upon Shado. Is that possible?
I believe so.
Thank you.
You sure you don't want to try to beat something out of them, though?
Yes, because that won't help the goal.
I know they're going to have their own wrong information anyways that they're going to deliver to us. It's just fun watching them scroll.
It's better if they think they are so easily able to infiltrate us. Let them underestimate our knowledge. For if they do choose to strike, they will be striking with false information.
She bows and says, I'll falsify how much it is that we're producing of what and where it is we're shipping it to, and perhaps make it seem as though our treasury is quite swole. Unlike Naito. She says as she bows. And then she turns to make her leave.
No, don't answer. Just leave.
And she turns to leave. All right.
Cool.
And I think that's it for your events.
God, how do you keep doing this?
Your success there is it was the options are set before you. So you're going to be able to send falsified information, but we'll do that your next event phase. So next event phase, free send false information, which requires kingdom checks to happen. But you're going to do it your next event phase. It's free, though.
Free send false information.
Yep, cool. All right. Is that it? Are you done? Can we actually turn our attention to Dickless?
Maybe.
Once more with feeling.
Yeah, I'm done. Maybe. Nah, yeah. It only took an hour, all right? And half of it was spent laughing.
I mean,
There's a lot of dick jokes for some reason in that hour.
All right. Cool. Nick, are you ready, sir?
I'm half asleep as normal, so yeah.
Are you going to be able to do this in lightning round so we can get back to Sel playing his session?
Well, Jake's got to go before me.
Let's roll.
All right. So, cool. Let's do your let's actually pull up the map for yours because we care to see that. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to click this, click this. We're going to drag this over to here and click combat. By the way, if you guys are wondering about an update on the this is chat about more art, I'm still waiting for art for the next kingdom. I started that with the artist 5 weeks ago. I'm still waiting for the finished product on that one. And then we'll start on the next campaign after that, and I'll start releasing the art for everybody to see literally when this one comes in. So, just because it's exciting. But I'm still waiting for this one. I think they're just kind of getting caught up in their own life. No pressure to me from the artist, though. No pressure to the artist from me, though. All right, Nick, this is where you stand in your current kingdom. A lot of shit went down last session. I think you have some notes left over of where kind of things were. As a reminder to everybody, you currently have 0 unrest. Your treasury is looking sexy. Your control DC is a 47, economy 55, loyalty 45, which is hurting, and stability 55. Otherwise, things are looking really, really good for you at the moment. We want to start off with the what's it called? Stability check. As long as you roll a 2 or higher, you're going to get a free BP added to your kingdom. I don't think chat's given it any. Yeah, this is viewers 3 for your bonus BP, but I think that's inaccurate. I don't think you erased that last time.
Probably didn't.
Yeah, so that's going to be removed to 0. I'll click away for you. Because nobody's given any BP recently. I'm just confirming over here real quick. Your stability check is amazing. You are good to go there. I'm just, give me 1 second. I'm just going to click away a bunch of this crap so I can see. Okay. Any BP given? 0. Okay. So you're all caught up with yours. Awesome.
Sweet.
So, awesome. You, sir, are going to add 1 BP to that. I'll add it for you. So you're at the 59. Yay. Oh, no, I think you clicked on it after I did. So you have to change it. Cool. So your BP goes up to 59. Next thing we're going to do for you is your roll for consumption, right? I think your consumption currently is it's fairly low. It's a 2. Right?
I think so.
Yeah, it should be a 2 for you. So with your consumption of a 2, you're going to be able to go ahead and just reduce your BP by 2. So from a 59 back down to a 57. After that is going to be a matter of filling your magic item slots. So we have to find out if you have any open. In Shinran, you have, this is one. Open, and in Shinratar, you have, looks like 1 open. Cool, so let's do Shinran first. Choose somebody in chat to roll a D100, and if it's a 51 or higher, they can immediately follow it with a D100.
Go ahead, Joey.
See, he knows what to do.
Thirsties. That's right.
Sorry.
By the way, is Jake actually going to get that roll, that pulled thing? I'm just saying, like, Jake's not here. So should he really get the hype train, or is that just like us being funny, pretending like we're gonna be nice to Jake? Because I mean, he's not even here. I don't know if he deserves it.
It doesn't change anything for me, right? I wasn't gonna win versus Nick anyway.
He's not even hanging out in chat. You know, I feel like we should just kind of skip it from him. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Joey, you got the second, the follow-up roll.
Shrink that. Magic items. So his follow-up roll is a 75. That means what it is, it has to be a potions or minor item. Is that what he said? On your kingdom? Yeah?
Is it a shrine?
Yeah, potions or wondrous. So that means it's going to be a wondrous item.
Yeah.
Joey, roll me a D100, follow up by a D100. Okay, he rolls me a 79. That body part is going to be slotless. So slotless body part. And then, Nick, that kingdom has a base value of 1,500. So that's where it caps. So that 79 is going to be followed up by a... Bum, 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 bum. Here it comes. And Joey rolls a... 34. Well, that's interesting. What did we say it was? 1,500?
Correct.
Huh. I'm going to check. Is this 2 that it could be? I want to see what each
While
of them do.
While he's checking for that, Steve, you want to roll D100 for the other slot?
Oh, no, you only one at a time.
Oh,
Yeah, only one at a time. So sadly, Steve is not doing that. Yeah.
sorry,
One
Steve.
second. Huh. That's weird. Hmm. One is combat related. The other one is not. I'm going to do the combat one because even though the other one's interesting, I could definitely see a million ways that Nick could find use for it. Its base value is 300 gold versus 1,400 gold. I think the other one's more exciting to have. All right. Let me just double check one thing. Each is key to a particular. Okay. I need Steve. Since you didn't get to roll that D100, can you go ahead and roll me a D6 instead? Viking, you're on the wrong channel. Ew. All right. Gold or red? Gold. Sell gold or red?
Gold.
Okay. Nick, you get an elixir of gold dragon's breath. This
Oh shit.
gurgling luminescent elixir comes in several different varieties, each key to a particular type of metallic or chromatic dragon. The creature that drinks the elixir can, as a standard action, breathe out a single blast of energy similar to the dragon's breath weapon, dealing 7d6 points of energy damage. Creatures in the area may attempt a DC 16 reflex save for half. The magic of the elixir ends after one use of the breath or after 1 hour has passed if they haven't used it yet, whichever comes first. The type of energy produced and the shape of the blast are determined by the associated dragon type. A gold dragon is a 15-foot cone of fire. So this is an item, elixir of gold dragon's breath, goes into your that slot in your kingdom. Somebody can purchase it for 1,400 gold pieces or for spending BP on it, or it can be sold in the future.
Oh, okay.
It's called Elixir of Dragon's Breath, of Gold Dragon's Breath. Do dragons actually exist? That's a different conversation.
Wow. That's an insane potion.
Yeah, the other one was going to be was fun for like being creative with, and I think Nick would have liked that, but unfortunately it was worth only 300 gold pieces. This one's like more fun.
This is 1,400. It's a lot.
Yeah. All right.
But a 15-foot cone of 76 fire damage is nice. You could burn like a whole like section of forest. You could start the forest fire. Nick,
Bro.
It's a free forest fire.
Bro, too soon. Bro.
No, I just absorbed them in me, right?
Nick, modify and rest is on rest, so we're going to skip right past that. After that, Nick, assign leadership. I think, are you happy with your leaders or?
Yeah, I think we changed everything up last round. So.
Yeah, Karzug just needs to get better in some way, but I think you're working on that.
I don't know how much more I can do, but we'll see.
Yeah. Either way, well, I mean, Karzug's not bad. 4 and a 5. She provides 9 to your kingdom individually. That's pretty solid. So, but okay. So that's it for now. After that is going to be claim or abandon hexes. You're allowed to claim up to 2 hexes. Your current size is 25. Once you hit 26 hexes, starting the following kingdom, like leadership phase, you, as in Narin, are able to provide 2 different slots. But all the other aspects take place immediately. What's up?
I thought I hit 26 last round.
Nope, you hit 25 last round.
Yeah.
It was Jake that hit 26 last time.
We were both a step behind them.
Okay, well, I'm going to claim the hex under the subterranean hex. So
Sure.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Okay. So you can claim the subterranean hex. What else?
And then I'll claim this one right here.
Okay.
You sure you don't want to claim this hex?
The one that the fire took place in?
Yeah. That's a good. I'm saying because you could actually probably do some research with that one.
Yeah, but I'm building a road to the city through these here, so I kind of need that.
Oh, I see.
Oh, there we go. That's the color we wanted.
That is
Okay.
true.
So we're going to copy and we're going to paste. So that gives you one cavernous hex. So we're gonna do that over here on the Kushibashi. We're gonna have one more to the we call it jungle here, even though it's realistically forest. It's like we conveniently call it jungle and forest when we need to. It should realistically we've been calling it. It should realistically be forest.
It's gonna be a huge population boom.
It's like maybe an extra 100 people.
It was an extra 200.
No, but it's because I also added an additional one.
Yeah.
And then cavern 1. So that gets you to 27 is your size, Nick, which means officially, even though you do not provide additional until next leadership transition, all the other stuff kicks in now, meaning you can immediately build 5 buildings, do 5 improvements, so on and so forth, but you can't claim a 3rd hex because that'll be because we have to move past this part to get there. Your consumption also just went up by 2, something to keep in mind. So you absolutely did grab both of those. You're now allowed to do up to 5 terrain improvements. And did you spend your 2 BP to do this?
I got to do it.
Okay. So you're going to drop that down to 55. Now you have 5 terrain improvements that you can do, sir. Which terrain improvements would you like to do? I assume roads.
Yeah, 2 more roads.
Okay. Those cost, 2 BP each?
Correct.
Give me 1 second. So, that's 1, 2. You only wanted 2 more roads? You didn't want a 3rd one? To get 2, because your fort's not done yet? Is that why?
You might want to build like a farm or something to reduce consumption.
So I'm going to increase roads by 2. So now he's at 9 roads, I believe.
Could build like a farm here.
Yeah, so I'll probably build a farm on this X.
Ooh, are you sure you want to build it in the forest? It's gonna be more expensive.
Do you have more stockyards or just the one?
Just the one at the moment.
Is it in here or is it here?
It's where his capital is.
Yeah.
If you get a stockyard here, this will be a great farm town.
Yeah, I mean, not this spot. This spot's about to become a lake, but it'd still be great otherwise, yes.
I mean, you got 1, 2, 3,
But stockyards
4,
are expensive
5.
and take a minute, but yeah. I mean,
True.
he might, that might be part of his plans, it might not be. So anyways, Nick, go ahead.
Actually, I think I can do a farm on this X, right?
You can.
Or down
Yeah.
here, these hexes are available too.
Yep.
If you didn't want to put it so near your
Oh
enemies.
yeah, that's true. They're pretty safe. So yeah, right here is good.
Okay, so that costs you 2 more BP. Would you like to do another farm? Because that costs you 2 more, and you've only done 3 terrain improvements so far. And with 1
That's all
more
you can do?
farm, no, you can do 5 now.
Oh, does the kingdom size impact the turn you do it?
It impacts the very next step within the turn that you're
Okay.
in. But any steps that you're on or have passed does not impact yet.
So why wouldn't his leadership bonuses take place?
Because that takes
for
place
all
when
future stuff?
his next leadership, assigned
Okay.
leadership role. Yep. Same as Jake's. So Jake's is kicking on this upcoming turn. Does he have
So
to
the
use a
question-
terrain improvement to found that new lumberyard city? He doesn't want to do a city until he already has the fort built. So he's waiting until this fort finishes first. What's up, sir?
Yes. Yes. I'm debating on plopping down a sawmill versus a farm.
I don't believe they can share a hex.
I know. I'm saying, do I want a sawmill or a farm?
Gotcha. Sawmills, was it farm will save you 2 BP a turn immediately. Sawmills will eventually get you more money in the future. I think a farm has a more immediate ROI.
All right, let's drop a farm right here then.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with what Scott's saying. I think getting your consumption down is probably the most important thing to do.
Yeah.
So you're now down from, I think you started at 59 BP. You're currently down to 47. So you've spent 12 so far. Get your farms up to 6. You can really start doing trade edicts. I mean, you're at friggin' 13 farms alone. Like, you can start doing trade edicts now. Your roads are at 9 now too, which is solid. And because you're bigger, you can start turning roads into what are they called, highways, soon, which is nice.
Right.
But that's expensive as hell. So it's one of those things you do one at a time when you can. But let me just confirm: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9.
I
Awesome.
can't wait for the great highway of Kajinxi between our 3 cities.
Nick, you did 2 farms and 2 roads. Are you done with terrain improvements, or would you like to do one more?
I think I'm good.
No more terrain improvements? You're positive?
Yeah, let's hold off. I got a bunch of other stuff.
No problem. All right, now that that's set, why don't we move on to the next part, which is going to be your buildings. Looking over at Kushibashi, what's currently being worked on, and Shinrin, what do we have being worked on currently? Your military academy costs 6. How much of that do you actually pay for?
I think I'm paying for all of it. Check.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you are too. So it drops down to 3 months, which is important.
Yeah. So that's 6.
And in your Sacred Grove, who's paying for that?
I believe I am as well.
Okay. So that drops down to only 1 more month, and then luckily that finally kicks in.
How much was that?
4 more. So that just costs you 10 in total. Shin Rotar, I believe you are you building a marketplace right now? Or are those ideas? No, those are ideas.
Yeah, those are ideas.
Okay. And you want to, yeah, those are all ideas. Okay, cool. So that being said, that's all you owed. What do you want to start now? Looking at Shinrin first.
I think we're gonna start the exotic artisan.
Respect it.
How much is that one?
Good question.
Okay. Let's see. I don't have the book open. I can grab it though.
I always forget which one.
Alternate rulership.
It's rulership.
Yep, I'm grabbing it right now for you. Details are right here. So you said what's it called?
Exotic artisan.
So under E. That's going to be 5 BP for 2 months.
Nice.
So this is going to be, I'll put this on here, 5 BP 1 month. Okay. So we're going to unitalicize and bold that. And that way it's 5 BP for, there's a discount on the crematorium for Anno that was going to, somebody's suggesting a discount on the crematorium. So that's good news. This is only your first building, by the way. Right. So you subtracted the 5 BP?
Yes, I subtracted that, and then we can do a crematorium as well.
And a crematorium is normally 4 BP for 1 month, so it's going to be only 2.
Sweet. We can put that right next to the dump, unless there's a restriction.
No, I don't believe there is. So, crematorium. I believe is how you spell that. And we're going to bring this down to 9-point font so it fits. That takes place immediately. So we're just going to put that into your actual city calculations down below. We'll put crematorium and put that to 1. That instantly gives you 1 to stability and some population, but nothing else really. That currently is only 2 buildings that you've worked on that cost you 2 BP right there. So that brings you down to what, like 30 in your economy?
Yep. And is now the time I need to pay to open up another district? Or was that before?
Did you want to open a district right now? It's up to you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to open up another district in the city. So.
Sure, you want to. You don't have to yet, unless you had other specific things. Because like right now, where you are, you still have 5 open slots. Opening another district only costs you 1 BP, and it happens immediately. But it does increase your overall control DC by 1. So do you have a reason to open it? Like, are there buildings that you need to put in specific locations? If so, absolutely, go right ahead.
I'll have to think about that a little bit more, then I can pass on it.
Yeah, sure. And now you have 5 open slots, and you can still build 3 more buildings if you would like. Any other buildings you're looking to put inside your primary city, or do you want to start looking at Shinrotar now?
We can look at Shinra Top.
Okay. I just didn't know if you're trying to get to that city status sooner or not. Okay, so over at
Oh, no.
Shinratar, you have preset ideas. You're looking at a trade shop to eventually be a guild hall that requires a house. Maybe making your barracks a garrison, looking to build a graveyard. I think you also wanted to put a granary in here somewhere.
Yeah, let's see what the graveyard is real quick.
Graveyard usually costs 4 BP for 1 month, so it's only 1 BP. Nothing offers a discount for that?
I'm looking right now.
There's a sheet. It's a discount sheet.
I don't know where it is.
Do you have a pin for us?
It's in the spreadsheet.
Oh, on his spreadsheet, he could just click over.
Yeah, if you go all the way to the right, copy of building tabs. It has all the upgrade tabs. Let's see. Graveyard has no discounts. Graveyard might have a discount. You have to search through it. I should add a tab that says gets discounts from discounts.
You can just control F, right? Like grave.
Yeah. A temple discounts a graveyard.
Do you have a temple in Shinratar?
I don't.
I'm saying Shinratar, but I meant
Shinrin.
Shinrin. No, I don't have a temple anywhere.
Oh, really?
Do you even have a shrine?
No.
Oh my god. Where do people pray? Nowheres.
On their
They
knees,
don't.
So
The only time Clan Kuchibashi gets on their knees is when they're dead.
Nice. So
Yeah,
here's the question.
necessary.
So graveyard costs 4 BP. What does it offer your kingdom? It gives you 1 loyalty. That's not a bad thing for you.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna grab that.
So sure, spend 4 BP. I'll just set it up for you right now, and we'll be good to go. Just give me a second. There we are. I'll click it and get it going. So we're gonna unitalicize. We're gonna bold. That's instantly 4 BP and instantly active in your kingdom. So it's gonna be graveyard. Okay. You can technically build 2 more buildings if you would like. The other ideas you had here were upgrade the garrison, make a trade shop, and make some houses.
No, I'm gonna save the houses for next round.
Okay.
There.
And the houses need to go in before those other things.
Yes.
Cool. All right, so that's it for buildings?
Yep.
Okay. After that is going to be, hold on, we gotta actually check build trade.
Oh,
What's up?
never mind. I think Nick has it right.
Okay, now it's like the army's edicts area. Are you gonna start trying to build or expand your army? Are you gonna try to collect people yet, or are you waiting?
I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
One more round.
Any more edicts that you're gonna do?
I think I'm gonna pull out some BP.
That's not yet. That's not edicts yet. That's gonna be afterwards. So you don't want to change your holidays, your expansion, your taxation, nothing?
Nope.
Just checking something really quickly. If you change your expansion, no, that's taxes. Sorry. If you change your expansion from standard to cautious, it changes nothing but gives you -1 economy, +1 stability. If you go to isolationist, you can only claim 2 hexes instead of 3. -2 economy, +1 loyalty, +2 stability, -1 consumption. It's probably not worth it. Just keep it standard.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. So then after this, it's going to be going to your income phase. Are you going to withdraw from your treasury?
Yes.
How much BP are you withdrawing?
3.
So that brings your BP down to 23 from 26. It brings your unrest from 0 to 3, which isn't so bad because you're still going to crush every roll except for maybe loyalty. Yeah. Okay. So 3 unrest. That gives you 6,000 gold pieces. What would you like to do with the 6,000? Joey's suggesting do a diplomacy edict, by the way.
Why do I want to do a diplomacy edict, Joey?
He might be suggesting doing a trade edict. I'm not sure. You haven't really seen these done yet. Do you know what a trade edict does?
Not really. I don't know the benefit.
Okay, no problem. Let's go over it really quickly because this is something that benefits you immensely. So with a trade edict, You have to choose food, goods, luxuries, or raw materials, right? A kingdom can have one of each of the following types of trade route. So food, goods, luxury, or raw materials. You, sir, are able to do food because you have at least 10 farms, right? You in the future will be able to do raw materials because of how many sawmills and shit like that you have. But for now, you don't have enough. You need at least 10. So the way it works is it's a very complicated thing, which is why there's a spreadsheet designed to assist you. The short version is, if your kingdom has a surplus production of food and farmeries, that reduce its consumption to below 0. So if your consumption is below 0, you may export food. A successful food trade route increases economy by 1 for every 10 farms and fisheries in your kingdom. So since you have 13 farms, your economy goes up by 1. Woo! This benefit is lost in any month that your farms do not reduce consumption below 0. So if you're at a 0, it does nothing. You must have at least 1 granary, which you do, and 1 stockyard, which you do, to make it work. So you can. Awesome. But beyond that basic thing that you do, that basic bitch, is for a trade edict, it gets a little complicated. The short version is you invest 5 BP or more into a trade expedition, okay? When your trade expedition finally gets there, you make an economy, loyalty, and stability check. There's a whole bunch of math involved. Ignore it. If all 3 checks fail, it's a total loss. Your fame goes down by 1. Your unrest goes up by 1. And that's it. If 1 check succeeds, it fails, but it sells its goods elsewhere. So you're actually able to earn 1d4 BP for every 5 BP invested, meaning you lose only between 1 to 4 BP. So not the end of the world. Cool. If 2 checks succeed, you establish a trade route, your economy increases by 1, and your treasury increases by, there's a whole bunch of math, but it's RM, whatever that is, plus 2d4 BP per 5 BP invested. So, for example, if you invest only 5 BP and your RM is 2, you get to roll 2d4 plus 2 BP added in. So in that scenario, you might have lost 1 BP or have gained 5, or somewhere in the middle. Yay. If all 3 are successful, this is where it's fucking real big win. Your economy increases by 2, fame increases by 1, and treasury goes up by 2d4. So same math for your treasury going up. It's just your fame goes up as well, which is, again, big win. Any trade route you establish lasts for 1 year. So the big thing is that whatever the RM is, which is the road modifier or routes modifier, you want a bigger number. It makes it harder to establish the route, but once it's established, you make some money, which is a good thing. So it's something to contemplate doing, especially with people that are far away, because the way that the math works is based off of how far they are. Let's do a quick example of this for you, Nick, okay? Go into Kingdom Notes and looking at Trade Edict. You need to look at how far away the person is that you're rolling, okay? So, let's say Nick is doing a Trade Edict with... Has to be a kingdom you know exists. Huh?
Let's just say Tessel. He's 15 blocks away.
Sure, Tessel. You would obviously want to take the safest route possible. So you go like this. He's 12 hexes away.
12. Oh, sorry.
Okay. I think you're actually supposed to go from settlement to settlement, not border to border, I believe. Let's confirm that.
It's probably settlement to settlement. Otherwise, it would be weird.
I believe so, but I'm just confirming. Increasing the BP, you play a trade route, select another kingdom and trade route partner, determine the distance in hexes from a settlement to a settlement. So that's the idea, is you go settlement to settlement, capital to capital, more or less. Tracing the path, So what is along that route? Is that all grassland?
Yep.
And it's 12?
All roads.
12 along grassland, 12, okay, establishing the hex. Trade route takes 1 hex per day along, so it's all roads. So let's go to Kushibashi. You delete grasslands and just click 12 roads. Okay. That means the route modifier is a sad 1. My wife just texted me. That's funny. So route modify. So roads is 12. Okay. Travel time. Blah blah blah. Length. All the details are right here. So it says. Why does it say 69? Give me 1 second. Oh, that's right. Route modifier is also determined by how far it is. Woof. So 12 hexes away. Trade types.
Do you not have to put 12 grassland road, or are they counted differently?
No, because that makes it longer. It's just 12 rows. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the big thing. So the way it works is control DC is your settlement's corruption. What's your control DC, Nick? 49.
49.
Plus your settlement's corruption. So what's your settlement? Let's go saying Shinrin, right?
Yeah.
It's all settlements.
That's a 1. So 49 plus 1 is 50. Plus the RM plus the LM. So what is your RM and LM? It's on the sheet right here. If we go back over here. Oh, no. RM is 1. So 49 becomes 50, becomes 51. Plus LM is 15. 51 becomes 66. Okay? Minus your settlement's productivity. That's a 0. I wonder if it's basing off over here. So it sounds like 66. For some reason, your kingdom got a 69. I'm not 100% sure why I got a 69. Because it's adding up from all of your settlements, which makes sense. So, so long as you don't have other settlements that are giving you productivity is a -4 here. Corruption is a -3 here. It's because Shimmerzar still a Thorpe? 1, 2,
Maybe.
3, 4, 5. No, it's not.
No, it's next year.
Oh, it's not a Thorpe. You gotta change that, bro. It's a village.
It's a little town.
It's a village now.
Not great still.
DC still says 69 though, because of all the details. So it's a 69 that you have to roll. This 69 is rolled with your economy, loyalty, and stability. So
That's
can
rough.
you hit those numbers with your economy, loyalty, and stability? No. So what you want to do is you realistically want to choose another kingdom that's further away. So let's say you wanted to go to Throne, right? So you go past Cell's kingdom. So we already said it's 12. So let's kind of run this route again so chat can see it. See like this. So 16 of those are along a road. And one of them is in a mountain, but there's a road on it. So 16 along a road, 3 are along plains. So 19 total. So if we go back over to Kingdom Notes, 16 on road, not 3 in plains. Call it grasslands, whatever. The DC just dropped to 60. And the reason why the DC's lower with a longer road, Nick, is it means you have more locations for your merchants to sell their shit. Because there's more of an area to try to dispose of their goods. But it's a bell curve. It gets easier and easier and easier until all of a sudden it gets harder and harder and harder. Right? So let's make 13 grasslands. It's easier. 23 grasslands. Suddenly got harder again. 22 grasslands. 21. 20. 19. 18. So we're finding here at 32. A distance of 32 is like your sweet spot for like the lowest number, but also has a road modifier of 4. So when you invest some money into it, oh boy, you can get some serious fucking money into it.
So that's funny. Good. How far is Ten Chang from me?
Teng Chang, is that the one that you have decent relations with?
That's the one I was just looking at. Nick saw when I was scouting at the cursor. You can't see it anymore because the map went out at some point.
So you could actually use, it depends on your route to get there. Teng Chang owns the other side of the river too, don't they? Other side of the lake. So let's say if you started from your not capital. Oh, actually, if you started from your capital, right? Because you want to kind of start from there. You're like this. You can imagine a little bit along this river area. And then, even though it's controlled by your enemy's territory, they're only 14 away if you go that route. But if you, again, take the river, then unfortunately it actually goes up a little bit higher, but you just can't see it, so it doesn't count. So it goes up technically 1, 2, so on. So you'd add more or less 1 into this, 1 or 2 into this, and then back down to the settlement here. You could do 23. Is the best you can get here. If you took this long ass route all along there, it's 23 or 24. Sorry, 24 or 25, I should say it is. Those are kind of maths too, which isn't a bad route. Like, that's pretty badass. So it's so fucking mixed on what that is, though. It's a lot of like rivers and shit like that. But either way,
You're only going downriver, luckily.
so that's not bad, right? And then for Shado, is Shado the one that got the piece? No, is Jake that got the thing with the clan that's on the west? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's do him, real quick.
You can't see that far. Somewhere
That's
up
okay.
there.
I know where they are. Huh. Good luck passing through there.
Passing through Kagong.
What? No, you.
Aren't they gonna raid the? Aren't they gonna raid that shit? Nah, probably not. Not if it's from us.
It's 29 hexes away. It's pretty solid. You know? So things like that are totally options. Not something you have to do right now, but definitely something to kind of contemplate in the future. You know what I mean? Because you can see how hard that's going to be. So, all right? Cool. Any other edicts you'd want to do? He was mentioning a diplomacy edict just to even be friendly with your neighbor. I believe what he was trying to suggest is these people right here. Because you've already kind of like started shit with them. Start trying to make them more your friends, because Wolfmaw, which are the people up here, are the ones that are complete assholes to you. But Vok are the ones you've started making friendly with. As a matter of fact, where do they stand in your kingdom shit? Oh, you don't have it written on your notes?
I don't think we.
Let's start it now. Clan VHAK, right? Weren't they unfriendly to you? Or did you write something else in your kingdom notes?
I think he mended those relations.
Yes.
Yeah, but they were also aggressive before. Like, I don't know if they were hostile or just
He's only
unfriendly.
unfriendly, yeah.
So indifferent at the moment. Okay. Clan Vox size. Give me 1 second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22. Alignments for Clan Vok are lawful neutral. And they're indifferent with you. You can certainly attempt a diplomacy check with them. So, let's see. Infamy comes from you. Fame comes from you. Size comes from you. Let's see. The good evil axis of your kingdom. Are you lawful neutral, Nick?
Yep.
Your opponent's also lawful neutral. And their attitude is indifferent from you. Their size needs to be filled in. They're 22. So the DC for whoever you're sending is a 26. Oh, wait. Aren't you an enemy of their ally?
Yes.
That modifies it. Let's see. I think you just get a -2 from that. So nothing crazy. So relations mod is just a -2. Oh, sorry. I guess that's a +2, I should say. So this is 28. Do you have a is your diplomat able to consistently hit a 28?
Good question.
Snog is saying that the canal cooperation made them friendly.
I don't think we had anything on that, but I don't really remember.
I don't remember them being made friendly. I remember them being cooperative.
Who is my? I thought it was this one. Grand Diplomat. Here's Michiko. Or Michiko. Michiko. $21. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely doable. Okay, let's go for it.
You want to try it? Okay, cool. So this costs you 1d4 BP, unless you want to spend any more BP on bribes to give yourself bonuses on this roll. Bribes have no penalty. All it is for every 1 additional BP you spend on bribes, it increases your modifier by 1. So 1d4 is what you spend.
2.
Okay, so you roll 1d4 plus 2, or ask somebody in chat to roll it for you.
Oh no, go ahead.
I don't know, 1d4, sir. I know about the warning of the remains or whatever. I'm familiar with that, but I don't remember that being something that increased them to friendly.
If anything, that solidified them being indifferent rather than unfriendly.
Yeah. All right, Anno, are you still here, sir? He's probably sleeping. It's very late for him. You call out somebody else in case Anno doesn't roll.
All right, Joey, take it.
Roll with that D4, Joey. Oh, he says I am as opposed to rolling. Look at that. Oh, Joey rolled the wrong thing. So, Anno, we should have taken Joey. Should have taken Joey. Joey brought the coupons.
Unlucky.
Oh well.
So 4 BP plus 2 is 6 BP you're spending. This gives your, whoever it is, make sure you put in 10 modifier, rolling with a +2, okay? But either way, are we, didn't you just level, Jake? Why are you whining? I was going to say before you roll that, oh, you rolled disguise, weird.
I was just fat clicking things.
Okay. So before you roll that, I was going to ask you for your edict. So are you looking to establish like an embassy with them, or are you looking to just affect relations with them? If you establish an embassy and you beat the check by 5 or more, you improve relations as well. If you just want to improve relations, you just have to beat the DC.
Let's go big. Let's go for the embassy.
Okay, trying for an embassy. So more or less you want to actually make like proper foundations of deals or whatever with them. Cool. Go right ahead, sir. You exactly hit 28. Is that what you needed?
I believe so. What did we say it was?
DC is 28. Yeah. So you can't crit succeed with that, but you absolutely hit the nail on the head. So that's great news. Success. So you did not improve relations, but you established an embassy. So the way it works is here. So if you attempt a mutual recognition, attempt a diplomacy check using either diplomatic DC, diplomacy check fails, the other kingdom rejects your if you succeed the diplomacy check, you create an embassy agreement with the kingdom. If you succeed the check by 5 or more, their attitude increases by 1, and your fame increases by 1. That didn't happen. You now may purchase or build a mansion or noble villa in one of your kingdom's settlements to use as an embassy. However, they can also establish a something like that inside one of your towns, it's legally their lands, not yours. So it doesn't count as like a city hex or one of those for the sake of you, which is fine. So before they build that, maybe on your next turn you want to grab your other district to put them in a specific area, or you're like, no, I want to keep them close. You know, it's up to you. You decide a spot. However, your embassy grants you the normal bonuses of a building of its type, and increases your consumption by 1, economy by 2, and society by 2. If the kingdom builds an embassy in one of your settlements, they gain the same bonuses. If you founded your kingdom, oh no, that doesn't matter. Alternatively, you may attempt to threaten rather than blah 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 blah. Okay, give me 1 second. So embassies are the beginning. Dude, treaties in the future, you're gonna fucking love the treaties. But for now, embassy is great. Cool. So nothing happens at this point. We just literally go onto the Kushibashi page, and we literally type embassies. So can build embassy. But you don't actually have one there yet, so we're just going to leave it at that. So for chat to see, this is where he currently has it, because he doesn't actually have an embassy set there. He just can build one. Cool. All right, let's move on. I believe you just took your money, which decreases your whatchamacallit, as you know. And anything else? That's weird. Can I copy and paste this? Boom, 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 and boom. Yay. All right, so you got all that fun stuff. You're good to go. Let's move on. You're going to deposit anything to the treasury? Probably not. Are you going to sell expensive items for BP? Probably not. That's 6,000 gold coins. Are you just going to keep those in your pocket?
In the moment.
Cool. Probably for like buying items or hiring mercenaries in the future, which makes sense. All right. After that, it's collect taxes.
I'm just adjusting for my unrest.
Yep. It's going to be a 49.52, 43.53. Jake, didn't you guys just level? He's asking for the end of the season because he thinks that means level up, even though they just leveled up.
No, it's just you normally do 20 session seasons. That's why.
Even though he just leveled up.
All right, what am I doing? Taxes?
Yeah, he was just pointing out something that was inconsistent. Okay, Scott.
And
we're waiting for 7 sessions. It's okay.
What's up, sir?
So what are we rolling?
You're rolling taxes, sir.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
It never removed the viewers amount, so I'm gonna remove that right now. Boom. So you know that your bonus BP is 6. Are you gonna roll luck first, sir?
Oh, of course.
Okay, boom.
Ooh,
So 4
tasty.
for luck, 52 for economy, and 6 for bonus. And your consumption's back to 0, which is nice. Is Nick the third one or the second one to roll?
He's second.
After Jake finishes his roll, we should leave, if you want to leave a note cell before Tessel rolls, you should recalibrate what you guys give each other from your treaties.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna give anything extra, but other people might.
Nick, what did you roll here? You rolled a 6. Ouch.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir. But 26 BP is not bad. That gets you back up to what? 40s?
Yeah.
43 or something?
43.
Cool. That's not bad. That's pretty solid. All right,
That's
event
all right.
phase
Good
for
one,
you.
buddy. Yeah.
Let's finish up the event phase for you, sir. First and foremost. One second. Okay. So you have who's your I always forget who you fucking Tonscreet. This is from Tonscreet. My warlord, a scout made haste from the jungles of Eldamar. Our city and routes are under attack, but not by the Hafue, nor the Fae. Actual people, or what we think to be people, but animals fight with them. Some of the survivors of the last attack are even speaking that they are capable of changing. Warlord, these people are capable of changing into bears and wolves, or even the big cats that are found in the jungle. The humans who attack us bear weird armor and weapons, some better quality than ours, using scythes and strange symbolism. The ones who heard them talk were not able to recognize them. One thing is for sure. They are neither Karak nor Daelish. Our woodcutters are afraid, and our guards are on edge. Thus far, these people don't leave the edges of the jungle. So this is going to be your what is it? Your general there. So what the hell's her name? Karzug. A threat? Well, Warlord, we know how we handle these barbarians. The jungles of Eldamar are treacherous, but our soldiers have to protect our new lands. Otherwise, we'll never be able to tame these wild lands, and if we back down at the first sight of danger, she kind of lets it trail off for a moment. We need to invest more into defense until the walls are finished and afterwards clear the jungles to be safe. Your Grand Diplomat, who is Misuki, just went off to go handle some important information. So unfortunately, while they're off doing that diplomacy edict, they won't be able to aid in this. But you might be able to get a similar thing from somebody else momentarily. Your curator, who is your curator again? Daichi.
Daichi.
I'm going to skip it as Daichi because I have another idea of something that Daichi can do. So this is going to be from Ryan, kind of thinking, says, people do not just appear out of nowhere. Every culture has a history. We should try to find out more about them before making a decision that could get a lot of our people killed. We need to send envoys or spies to gather as much information as we can. This wouldn't be him. Sorry, this would be your spy master, which is Shala. We need to send envoys or spies to find out as much information as we can. That sounds more like Shala. What the fuck am I talking about? This will mean that these attacks will continue until we find a solution. But it'll be a more final one and an educated one when we make it. Sorry, when we do it, whatever. Your high priest, which is, I believe, Eric. Correct? He wasn't replaced? Nope.
Yep.
If there's anything that really unifies people, it's religion. You know, maybe we can speak with the Hafue. They might know of these people. We should try to understand them. Maybe what it is that they worship, perhaps the same gods as us, or rather aspects of them. Once we meet on a common grounds, we can expand upon it. So I do agree with Shala, but perhaps by speaking to the locals to see what we can discover rather than spending spies to watch or diplomats to speak. Your consort, you don't have a consort, so nothing there. And all those others were already fulfilled. Cool. So you had your high priest, which mentioned talking to the Hafue. You had Shala, which was spy on them or send diplomats. And you had your general, which is let's increase our defenses. Shado, do you want to give some advice?
It's an odd situation. No, I don't think I really have any advice on this. This is not really anything that I think Shado has dealt with.
So no opinion?
No, not really. This is kind of an odd one. I don't really think I got anything.
Okay. People keep asking about the curator. I didn't skip the curator. I just turned it into Shala. I skipped the Grand Diplomat. because the Grand Diplomat's not there. Go ahead, sir.
I'll lean on Eric for this one. So we will go with the High Priest option.
Hey, chat, I'm just going to say, y'all shouldn't be blowing up your own spots on who makes what events. I can read. I suggest you kind of zip the lip. That's my suggestion, but do as you please. All right, what's up, Nick?
I'm going to go with Eric's option.
Eric? He nods and says, would you prefer that I see to it myself or send some of my my close friends? It is possible we can send Zhao, who happens to be... Wait, was Zhao Hufawei? No. They were, I think, Karak that was raised out there, right? That's Zhao, a little B. But they say it, but like it's one of those things where their face is saying maybe not a good idea.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. So Eric says, I'll gladly see to it myself then. I'm curious what their faith is and what their abilities are. And kind of like nods, and we'll stick around for the rest of the conversation that might happen here. We do warn you, it will remove them for the better part of the month. They'll be gone for pretty much the whole month. Okay? That roll is going to be a stability check. Before you roll that one, I do have another one for you, sir. This is going to be... Warlord, I have more bad news for you, sir. A courier has arrived from our northern town. They bear a rather curious message. They tell us of a strange meeting that happened a few days ago. Two groups of trolls clashed. It seems that the scrags in our employ had a fight with a group of trolls that tried to attack a vessel while they were collecting their taxes. Every Karuk started to flee, of course, as the massive creatures fought it out. The length of the battle was rather... it dragged, as both sides were just regenerating their wounds as they fought. While the battle was rather spectacular, and the bets to who would win started about an hour after they started fighting, what happened later was even more peculiar. The Scrags won, but rather than slaughtering their foe, the two leaders of the group started to argue rather loudly, but none of the people present were able to understand them. Later, the local guard leader approached them to try to understand what just happened. From what we understand, the trolls thought that this was the Scrags' hunting ground and wanted to intrude upon it. The Scrags, wanting to uphold the deal, defended the ship and merchants. Later, the She-Scrag leader, Sazuka Gagosh, explained to the troll leader, Olugd, what they were doing. Turns out the trolls seem to have liked the idea and have set up a troll post. Although, at the edge of the forest where they tore down a few trees and no trade route passes by. Your warden, which is, of course, what's her name? Karzug says, Warlord, more trolls? We can deal with them swiftly before they cause even more trouble. They heal quickly, true, but they will still be weakened from the fight with their scrags. Rivalry between the two troll clans can only cause problems, and some of our people have already put forward complaints that these uncivilized beasts must be driven away from their lands. We really don't want to be ignoring them. Your treasurer, who is Ferris, the new one. I don't know enough about Ferris to even fake role-playing them. Let me click on them. Ferris. Oh, it's a Hafue. That's right. The new Hafue Ranger. That's right. And, okay. Well, we've dealt with Scrags already, Warlord, though I personally wasn't here for that. You've handled it brilliantly, if I might suggest. Why not extend the same deal to their dim-witted cousins? Show them another spot to secure, and we'll have more warriors to use somewhere else. Though getting taxes from them may still be a bit challenging. Your Grand Diplomat, who is once again Michiko, and did not go off on the other adventure. Oh, sorry, Michiko is gone. So, is there anybody else that can pick up this slot? Give me 1 second. No, I'm not going to work with Michiko on that one. Let's keep going. So, Karzug does think as other people are speaking, and then suggests, you know, border guards and laborers, trolls. I'm not entirely sure we can trust them, as I've already said. And we know that they might fall back on their instincts. We could mobilize the army to attack them. But it is possible. She thinks for a few moments. We can use them in our army. Try to teach them to follow basic orders. Let's tear our enemies to pieces, and everybody would think twice about attacking us. Something that Densho has done. It might cause a bit of infamy with the northern clans, but people will tremble at the sight of Kushibashi marching onto the battlefield. They could feast on the bodies of the fallen, the way that Kushibashi's clans do. She kind of sits for a few moments. But I must warn you, Warlord, if this is even a path that we want to walk down, our chief will need to fight their chief. Single combat.
Kill them too.
She says, I know you wield a magically flaming weapon, but that doesn't change it would be a challenging battle. It's an option. I would be remiss if I didn't suggest it. Though even as I say it, it feels ill-advised. And finally, Daichi chimes in and says, These creatures may be barbaric, but they can think somewhat, which means they have their own gods, and one may dare to say culture. In all honesty, our neighbors in the south, our so-called brethren, are not much better than a wild troll. You can see the advisor to Densho watching closely as the words come out to see exactly who they're referencing and saying this. We were once like them not long ago. Sure, their head may be empty, but let's fill it with our own ideas. And yes, having trolls believe in our cause, our leader. Well, I think that may be very useful in many ways. Maybe not as clerks, but as woodsmen and warriors. Of course, it would be better to settle them away for now, give us time to teach them, and for them to learn. It may be costly, and I do mean not just resources and gold, but lives, as they have to learn, but it could be worth it in the end, if you see that cost as one that is palatable. Tonscrate frowns at the idea of palating the loss of Karak life, Kajinksi life, just to train some otherwise beasts that could be fought back or chased off or killed. Shado, opinions?
This is similar to the predicament Thatch and Orc was in, with the gnolls and goblins and ogres. You have these scrags, the water trolls under your employ, these could be equally useful creatures for Clan Kushibashi. They are powerful and can provide might in the forests of Eldamar, where swiftness cannot do.
Tora, I think that's her name. Is that her name? Tora? Tora will
It's
chime
Jake's
in.
advisor.
I'll play as Jake's advisor. Warlord, with all due respect, there is a vast difference that exists between Clan Kushibashi and Clan Densho. And that difference is Warlord Narin and Warlord Verix. Warlord Verix will walk up to a troll, a gnoll, a goblin, or a giant, and happily force them to bow before him by any means necessary, going so far as to even biting a chunk of their flesh off with his own teeth, chew and swallow it before them, to devour their friends and families before them, to show what kind of individual he is. You are not that person. You are not Warlord Verix. You have incredible strengths, and ones that should be respected, and certainly are by all of Clan Densho, or at least those that don't learn their lesson swiftly, as Clan Shadow can attest to. That being said, I think it's ill-advised to try to employ any more than you think that you can handle swiftly and immediately.
These are all good points. Karza, dispatch the troops. Wipe them out.
She nods. Thank you, Warlord. All right, cool. So that's going to be a, for the most part, it was going to be an economy check, but for her, it's specifically a stability check. All right, I think that's it for your events. Just give me 2 seconds to confirm. Actually, you have a third one, too. You got smashed. Just wait until, Cell is coming up soon.
Huh?
What?
What?
Your next
This is so ominous.
All right, so... Oh, okay. All right. Warlord, I have one last bit of news. Though, unfortunately, our table is growing light with those that are able to aid us. This is Tonscrete. One of our scouts is also taken... one of our scouts, taken by strangers, has returned with some fierce wounds and wearing ragged remains of a Wolfmar uniform. They are clearly traumatized and jumpy from their abduction. When they have a rare moment of lucidity... to notice those around them aren't their previous captors, only to mention the pain, the roars, the ruins, the smells, and something, Ava something. How are we to deal with this poor creature? Your Grand Diplomat is gone, your High Priest is gone, your Magister. We should study their condition. Of course, treats the condition, but anything we can learn from them could help us learn something of those responsible. Your Spy Master, who was not selected beforehand. I hate to see one of our own suffer, but we can interrogate them. Some of our scouts are still out there as well. We need numbers, we need locations, and we need to know what we're dealing with. It's unfortunate that this is the only survivor we've found thus far, and they're in this condition. But after so long, we do not have a lot of time left. An interrogation is most important. Your counselor is Daelric. I know of a few poisons that can numb the pains, helps this poor creature's on its way. It's barely in any conditions to serve anyone's again, clearly. We should show mercies. Shadow?
and this is about like a creature being sick. Sorry, my wallpaper engine started playing a song, like sound. I was very confused for a couple minutes.
More or less, one of their scouts came back wearing Wolfmar uniforms and all sorts of fucked up. They're dying. Do we interrogate them despite their pain? Do we try to study their condition and hopefully try to treat it? Or do we just give them more or less some drugs to help them along their way in a less painful manner?
You should learn of their condition. Wolfmar is known for using types of poisons or ointments to repel the Fae. This may be some insight into more of their tricks to explore the forest.
Clendencio agrees. You either need to kill your enemy or know your enemy and then kill your enemy.
And I don't put down my soldiers like dogs. Ryan, do your best to find a cure, or at least protection against what's ailing this soldier.
The after the council kind of like separates and everybody goes their own way, Ryan asks to speak with you as an aside. He says, "Warlord, you're not going to like this, but please hear me out. I personally know the pains of suffering many diseases over my lifetime. It does not get any easier with each passing introduction into my blood, festering in my body. But I can tell you that most of this education that I've gathered has not just been simply by studying myself, but by studying those around me as they die. If I'm going to admit fully, the deepest education doesn't come from actively trying to alleviate distress, but truly understands the depths of the disease, to watch how it takes its victims wholly and completely, and moreover, look to cure it along the way. We can do this in a way that is less painful for the soldier, but will learn less. Or we can do it in a way that will give us a deeper education. I would never ask this of you in front of the other council members, as I know how you generally feel about the well-being of your soldiers. But this isn't the first time we've come across something so strange, and it concerns me. We are delving deeper in the woods. We need a deeper understanding. I judge not what your decision is, and will follow your order completely."
Do whatever it takes to save more of my soldiers' lives.
He nods and says, I will keep this quiet. And he bows, and he turns and walks out. Yeah. Ryan doesn't like doing stuff like that, but sometimes this isn't the first time he came across this exact scenario, unfortunately. So
here comes another monument.
Oh, it's a random dead soldier. All right, let's get these rolls out of the way for you, huh? And then you have your rando one. Nick, what do you want to do first? Do you want to do the wandering back in soldier? Do you want to do the the people that are attacking that aren't a Fue or Fae, that's some type of human? Or do you want to do the trolls? What do you want to do first?
Yeah, let's start with Eric's.
All right, so that's going to be the people wandering. Awesome. So this is going to be, oh boy, it's a stability check. I just saw the DC for this one.
Yikers. That's scary.
All right, let's see if I have to modify it. No, this is fine. It's very hard. It's very hard. It's an imposing check. For his path, it's an imposing check. But the
holy shit! Wait,
the benefit
can you even
is
succeed?
Beneficial. Well, he has a +7 against a DC 26, so he has to roll 19 or 20 without luck dice or anything else to modify it. That's by
Do
far
you
the
have
hardest one.
Do you have
So,
a Winifred's, Nick?
No, I don't think so.
Pray to the luck gods, for you will need them.
Yeah.
Could you? I mean, calling adventurers for this doesn't even make sense. Sometimes, what are they gonna do? Help you research? I mean, I guess.
No.
failing isn't the end of the world. It's critically failing that's scary.
Yeah, but you have to roll above a 10 to not critically fail.
Yeah.
Do it, Nick. I believe in you.
Oh, am I even looking? I'm not even looking. Let me see.
That was not what you needed, Nick. That's unsavable. Hey, think about it. If you bought adventurers, it wouldn't have mattered. You would have wasted BP.
Okay. Cool.
Oof.
So with that as your total bonus, your 10, there is an issue. Not Tonscrete, sorry, what's his name? Eric.
Ryan.
Eric goes in to find some details and doesn't come back out. Next month, you have to either put your faith that Eric returns, that's a different kingdom roll, or you can send scouts in to go find him, which is a kingdom roll of choice. So there's more or less you can ignore it, which is a kingdom roll. You can send scouts in to go find it, which is a kingdom roll. You can march soldiers in there, like a full-on army in there, activate the army, which is a separate option. More expensive, but also the lowest check, so on and so forth. So you're going to have to figure that out. Eric is missing, starting as of assigned leadership role next month. Okay? But you might be able to get him back next event. Cool. All right. After that is going to be Trolls you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
Trolls is much easier. Who'd you choose for this one?
That's Karzug.
Yeah. There's also a stability check for you. Karzug. This actually was Warden for Karzug, not General for Karzug. So that's actually a 5 for her, which is actually better for you. It's a stability, so it's a +0 from there. This one is a hard check, so that's much easier. You have a +5 against a DC 20. Do you want to modify that at all or no?
No.
Okay, go right ahead.
Oh my God, Nick. Nick.
Oh, God. Next season 2 are so painful.
Stop rolling dice, Nick. Please. Before everyone in your kingdom's dead.
This is what happens with your critical failure. Your armies go in, and unfortunately, your army gets smashed back a bit. We now officially trigger, you piss off the trolls, and it triggers a monster attack event. The trolls, as I said, I had set up a spot along the tree border. So I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Along the tree line border. So we have to trigger this as a monster attack event immediately afterwards. But not before your army gets the crap kicked out of it. Meaning that because your army was activated, you just spend 1 BP. It's not a big deal. Because they're going to take time. Because they marched up there. They fought. They lost. They had to hang back and heal. Recover their losses. So on and so forth. So you lose 1 BP for that. Critical failures, we trigger a monster attack event. Let's do that event right now.
Monster. All right, I have pulled that up.
Okay. So monster attack is a group of monsters. GM picks the in which case, so the monsters, the CR is equal to the party's APL. What's your guys' level?
We're level 9.
Can I get a D4 rolled by, let's say, Ano, please? Because Ano's the monster in chat.
So the monsters are CR or CR 10.
Yep.
And we
Nick,
have no magic.
you have 2 options. You can handle this personally, which there's 2 ways to handle it personally. Take your battered army and do a mass combat against whatever this is. You can actually personal scale you and maybe ask your friends to come join you. Go and hunt some trolls. Or you can do this as just a kingdom roll.
I'll do it as a mass combat.
Okay, we'll do that next session. Not tonight, obviously. It's already after 1. All right, cool. So leave a note, mass combat, next session with the trolls, and that'll actually be fun. You're gonna go in with a like a fatigue, your army's gonna be hurt, but you personally can go into it as well. You're actually tough enough as an individual that you can count as a hero army fighting against them as well, or you can bring another army with you. You can do however you want, but the army that you originally sent in is going to be battered going into it. So you're aware.
Sure.
All right, cool. We'll deal with those details next session. Your third one, hopefully you don't fuck this one up too. Who'd you send to handle this? It was Magister? That's right. So Ryan is handling this. Ryan usually has a +8. He is actually going to go with the focus of alchemy. You chose to focus on alchemy rather than healing him. It's about learning. Right? So I'm going to give you your focus on this one, which is a good thing. So you're rolling with a +10. This is another stability check, funny enough, for you. And I'm going to alter what the suggestion was. We're going to make this a loyalty check because of what it is you're doing. So it's going to go to a +9. The DC is hard, so it's a DC 20 with a +9.
All right.
Don't roll shit. If he rolls even a 15, he crushes it.
Oh my God, Nick. What's the DC?
It's not a critical failure. So the
Okay.
good news is, because it's not a critical failure, that there's no chance of you of people finding out what your decision was. Right? So that's good news. The bad news is, unfortunately, they die, just like last time, without you learning any information. It unfortunately spooks the people who are concerned about the situation of what's been going on there, what's happening in the woods. The decision to cut further into the woods keeps releasing all these different monsters and whatnot onto your people. You ready, Nick? You can take a -2 to your loyalty.
Unlucky.
Sorry, bro. It's a lot of really bad rolls in a row. Really sorry. Okay, now let's go for your random event roll. Who do you want, Joey to roll in chat or someone else?
Go ahead, Joey.
Okay, Joey, it's 75% chance. Nick, high, low, what?
We'll go high. It's good.
Okay, so it happens. Joey, go ahead and roll another event roll for me. You want him to roll as low as possible here. Like a 30 would have been great. Actually, apparently a 30 is terrible, actually. 64. Oh, it's a beneficial settlement one. Okay.
Nice.
So Nick, before he rolls again, is your capital, what is it? It's odd to happen in your settlement. It's even odd to happen in your capital. Cool.
Sure.
So when he rolls, that answers the question at the same time. Beneficial settlement. Go ahead, Joey. Odd to be outside the capital. So it's your capital, and it's a 52. A 52 is outstanding success.
Man, we're gonna get a land.
All right, one of your kingdom's citizens creates an artistic masterpiece, constructs a personally impressive building, or otherwise brings glory to your kingdom. Fame increases by 1, despite all the horrible shit happening to you. Your treasury increases by 1d6, and unrest decreases by 2. You get a +4 to economy until your next event phase. Bro, your unrest just went down by 2.
Nice.
Quite useful.
Oh my god. That's amazing. That pretty much solves the problem of you stealing from your kingdom. Like, people don't even care. Who do you want to
Not
roll the
steal.
1d6? It's not exploding.
Steve, go ahead.
Maybe he can give you back the money for your beat up army and your nope. I was gonna say and your other thing. All right, well, I'll put the 43 in there. I was hoping he'd also give you back the money for your diplomacy edict, but all right, so you put one back in there. All right, so your economy is temporary event. This is gonna be 4, 1 month. So your economy went up by 4 for 1 month. So it's your next roll. You'll have that, and then it's gone. Anything else that comes along with this? Oh, fame increases by 1. So fame, base fame, or events fame goes up by 1. So you have 4 fame, which is amazing. All right, see, Joey, that 5 is exactly what we wanted. All right, cool. That brings your event phase back down to 25%. And I believe that finishes everything up for you, Nick. It's over. It's finally over. Well, not really. Technically speaking, if you fuck up with the monster thing, your unrest jumps up by 4 more, and if it equals at least 5, you lose a hex. So, you know, don't lose that, or your unrest equals a 5, which means you lose a hex. So that'd be bad, because when you lose a hex, your unrest goes up by 1 more. So thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight and hanging out.
We don't want to do the Rima stuff till next week or next month.
Next time we'll do it. Oh, there's one more thing that was supposed to happen, actually. Nick, out of all the bad shit that happens, there was one more thing, too, which is a good reason why you didn't choose your curator for anything else. After spending a couple months watching your soldiers work, the curator finally comes to you and says, Warlord, I have to say, after watching Kushibashi, as long as I have, as close as I have, you certainly live up to expectations. Your soldiers, they behave as rumors claim that they do. Your council speaks and behaves, and well, most of them at least, as one might expect. Unfortunately, your soldiers seem to be lacking a certain degree of discipline in other areas. And the way that they fight, it's more akin to marauders on the plains than it is of a proper clan. And I mean no offense by this. While you have evolved your own style, the soldiers that follow you cling to their old ways, thinking that's what brought them success in the past, so it will likely bring them success in the future. They are very mistaken. You and I are both aware of this. I would like to remind you of the Litzmasil combat style. The way that the greatest warriors of our people have learned to fight, not just through brute strength, but through grace and intelligence. If I may, Warlord, as soon as your academy is open, I believe I'd be able to help your soldiers train in Litzmasil, same as I was. And honestly, with all due respect, Warlord, you complete your training as well, as you are lacking some of the fundamentals and advanced steps. Maybe a few intermediate as well. With all due respect.
Sorry, does he have a bat of 9? I don't think so. What a loser.
In short, what he's saying is he's offering himself, if he's a bit of an overseer of your academy. He doesn't have to be the actual like headmaster by any stretch, but if you allow him to spend some time each month training rather than serving as a, because you have to spend 1 week as a leader for the kingdom. But if he spends at least a week, upwards 2 weeks at the academy when it's done, you can also unlock samurai as an option for your soldiers.
Interesting.
Yeah. Samurai offer some pretty cool shit when your army's made out of them, including coming with mounts. So, beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll take it.
All right, cool. And there's no check for that. That's just something that he offers to you. It just requires your kingdom to finish building the academy, which is unfortunately 3 more months. But then it unlocks for you. So I imagine you're going to want to train your soldiers at that point in time. At some point in time, you're going to make that happen. Cool. All right. Next month, we're going to start off with Nick's mass combat and Cell's RP. And then we could jump right into Jake. And we're going to dive right into Jake. Now, Cell, did you get over 25 as well? Oh, okay,
No.
cool. So you get
I'm
to
at
watch
25.
something exciting happen to you get to what was I gonna say? Watch you get to watch what happens to Jake and Nick before it happens to you. That's good news. All right.
I mean, yeah, unless you do something crazy with it.
No.
Then
All right,
I might
everybody.
just hold off.
Let's all say goodbye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. On Wednesday morning, I'll tell you a funny story about New York City. But I won't do that tonight because I got to go to bed.
We'll do the Pete thing next week as well.
Okay. All right, bye, everybody. I'm going to find somebody to raid. Thank you all so much for coming by and hanging out. We're going to have some fun soon. Bye-bye. Wednesday morning sessions should be start at normal time. Enter normal time. Shouldn't be any difficulties. All right, cool.